Hi all, very good morning. So now we are going to talk about self-balancing ledger. So in financial accounting, self-balancing ledger is one of the very important areas where you balance the ledger account. So what do you mean by? So there are three aspects: journal, ledger, trial balance. Now, once we do the journal entries, we post the transactions in the ledger, and then we record the trial balance. Now, what happens is there are certain ledgers that automatically balance. So, whichever ledgers that automatically balance, those are called self-balancing ledgers. Now, normally when ledger accounts are prepared from the journal, we arrive at the particular transactions and then we record the opening balance or a closing balance or a balancing figures depending upon the informations. So when the ledger automatically balance, that means the transactions of both debit and credit are equal. Then there comes the concept of self-balancing ledger. Now in this particular topic, we are going to talk about those type of ledgers that are self-balancing and how we will have to account these transactions in the books of accounts. So let's start with the first introduction of self-balancing. So as I said, under self-balancing ledger system, each ledger is prepared under double entry system, and a complete trial balance is also prepared by taking up the balances of ledger accounts. So without or within the ledger itself, all the principles of double entry systems are completed. That means under this method, three ledger accounts are prepared. That is general ledger adjustment account, which is maintained under debtors ledger and creditors ledger, and debtors or sales ledger adjustment account, which is maintained under debtors ledger and creditors ledger, and debtors or sales ledger adjustment account and creditors or purchase ledger adjustments accounts, which are mentioned under general ledger. So that means, let me repeat, there are three types of ledger accounts that are prepared. One is general ledger adjustment account, which is maintained under debtors ledger and creditors ledger, and then we individually prepare debtors or sales ledger adjustment account and creditors or purchase ledger adjustment accounts. So what do you mean by a debtors ledger? So debtors ledger is also known as the sold ledger or a sales ledger, which is maintained for recording all the personal accounts and trade debtors. So that means what it, if the ledger is maintained customer's account, that is to whom we sell the goods on credit. So it's being taken into account from the general ledger and some in the same books. So that means a creditors ledger is what? It is also known as bought ledger or a purchase ledger, which is prepared for recording all personal accounts of trade creditors. By preparing the ledger creditors account from whom we purchase goods on credit are taken into account, and from the general ledger, and the same is mentioned in the ledger. So that means normally we prepare debtors ledger, creditors ledger, and then we also prepare what is known as the general or nominal ledger. So what is a general ledger? That means it is the ledger all real accounts, nominal accounts, and remaining personal accounts are opened. So that means ultimately at the end of the day, all the personal accounts are opened here. So that means personal account, real account, nominal account, all the types of accounts are open. Now within this, we prepare what is called as the trial balance. Now when you prepare a trial balance, that means what we will do, we will take up the balances from the three ledgers. So that means we cannot prepare a trial balance from any one single ledger. That means a trial balance cannot be prepared by taking only the balances from debtors ledger or only the balances from creditors ledger. That means you will have to have all the three ledger accounts in order to prepare the trial balance. Now what are the advantages of self-balancing system? The advantages of self-balancing system are if ledgers are maintained under self-balancing system, it becomes very easy to locate the errors. So this is a very important advantage. This system also helps to prepare a interim account and draft the final accounts in a complete trial balance. So that means at any stage wise you will be able to prepare the accounts under this system. Now the third advantage is various works can be done quickly on the system, and this provides a subdivision of work among the different employees. Then the fourth important advantage is the system is particularly useful where there are a large number of customers, or usually I will have opening date, that is, and the closing date. So in each cases, what I will record the transactions. So let's say for example in the general ledger, I am recording debtors ledger adjustment account. Now in the case of general ledger, what I do, I usually first thing what I do is to balance brought down. That means the opening balance is captured as a first screen. Then I will have some the transactions relating to the debtors ledger. That means I will have carriage and sundry charges. I will have bills receivable dishonored, check received and dishonored, interest and charges, BR discounted and dishonored. So all these things I will record under debit. Then under credit, what I will have, buy balance brought down if any. Then I will have general ledger adjustment accounts. Then I have cash, bad debts, discount allowed, other allowances, bills receivable, and then I will have transfer to or from other ledger. So that is the important point. Now in the case of debtors ledger, what I do, I prepare general ledger adjustment account. Now the top we prepared in the general ledger debtors ledger adjustment account. Now in debtors ledger we also prepare general ledger adjustment account. So what is the format we have? Again we have whatever is the opening balance brought down if any, we will record it, and then we will record the transactions of debtors, because it's a in the debtors ledger you are preparing the general ledger adjustment account. So that means I will record 2 sales or 2 debtors, and then I will record 2 cash, then returns inwards, then 2 discount allowed, 2 other allowances, 2 bills receivable, then transfer entry. So then in the credit side what I do, I record buy balance brought down if any, then I will also record buy debtors, that means from the sales ledger adjustment account if there are any. Then I will have carriage and sundry charges, then buy bills receivable dishonored, then buy check received and dishonored, then buy interest in charges, and then buy refund which is cash paid to the customers, and then buy BR discounted and dishonored, and then buy BR endorsed and dishonored, and then buy interest charged to overdue account, and then by balance carried on if there is any. Now usually in the case of self-balancing, entries will only. So now we are going to talk about how we are going to play a role in self-balancing ledgers through some sums. Okay. So now if you look at this particular information, what are we going to do? I am going to prepare the following informations based on debtors ledger adjustment account in the general ledger and general ledger adjustment account in the debtors ledger. Now what is that? It's given over here, opening balance of sundry debtors. So I've got 40,000, cash and check receipts 1,60,000, credit sales on the sales day book 2 lakhs, then discount allowed they have given, returns inwards 4,000, bad debts they have given, bills receivable they have given, bills receivable discounted they have given, provision for bad debts has been given, and then closing credit balance of sundry debtors is given, transfer from debtors ledger to creditors ledger is given, transfer from creditors ledger to general debtors ledger is given. So we have to prepare, what are we going to prepare here? Debtors ledger adjustment account in the general ledger and general ledger adjustment account in the debtors ledger. So that means all the transactions pertaining to debtors and sales will come in this particular account. So the heading is very important, to whom we are going to prepare in the books of, then in the general ledger we are going to prepare debtors ledger adjustment account. So I will have opening balance of debtors recorded as 40,000, and then I will have the important informations like credit sales that has been given as 2 lakhs, and then I will also record the transactions whatever they have given. So the transactions that are given are cash and checks amounting to 1,60,000 receipts that I'll record in the credit side. Then I will record returns inwards in the credit side. Discount allowed I'll record in the credit side. Bad debts I will record in the credit side. Bills receivable I will record in the credit side. Transfer to creditors ledger, since they have given, I have record 1000 in the credit side, and then transfer from creditors to debtors ledger. So that also I will record of 1200 in the credit side. So that means what is the balance left out? So I will also record the discount allowed, which means 2 discount I will record as a debit for 6000. So my balancing figure, what is the balancing figure here? Balancing figure is 48,800. That means this 48,800 I will bring it down and record as 48,800. And in this particular case, what is the balancing figure? In the debit side, 6,000 is a balancing figure, which I'll bring it and record it in the credit side. So this is how I prepare my debtors ledger adjustment account. Now, in the debtors ledger, general ledger adjustment account. So the general ledger, what I will do, I'll record the opening balance, 2 balance brought down, that is 2000, and then in the debtors ledger adjustment account, what all the things that I had, cash and checks 1,60,000, returns inward. So whatever I recorded in the credit side will come in the debit side. So in the debtors ledger, wherever I recorded the transactions in the credit side, in the case of general ledger adjustment account, all those things will come in the debit side, and whatever I recorded in the debit side, in the case of debtors ledger adjustment account, will be coming in credit side in general ledger adjustment account. So this is the impact that it will have. So I will record. So let me repeat. 2 balance brought down 2000. Then cash and checks I have 1,60,000. Returns inwards I have got 4,000. Then I have got discount allowed, which is 6,000. Bad debts to 3,000. Bills receivable I will have to 20,000. Then transfer to creditors ledger 1,000. Transfer from creditors to debtors ledger 1,200. And then balance carried down 48,800. Similarly, in the credit side, I'll have buy balance brought down 40,000. Then debtors ledger adjustment account, credit sales I'll record 2 lakhs. So then I'll have buy balance carried down, which is 6,000. So at the end of the day, I'll post all those transactions, and then I'll say 2 balance brought down is 6,000, buy balance brought down is 48,800. So this is how I close my entries. So this is the first concept. Now let's go to the illustration 2. In the case of illustration 2, what have they given? Summarish keeps his ledger on self-balancing system. From the following particulars, you are required to write up the individual debtors account and the general ledger adjustment account is the sales ledger during the month. So again, so we have individual debtors balances on 1st Jan 2013. So which is A 1530, B 1620, C 1890, and D 1170. The transactions during the month are: I've got sold goods for 1710, received from B on account 300, received from A 1500 in full settlement of the balance. Then I've got sold goods. Then I've got B returned goods which were damaged. So for rupees 180, received from C 1800 and allowed him discount is there. Received from A, a bill of exchange, that is also there. Received from B 900 is there, and then B returns. So whatever the returns has been there, that is dishonored, is there. Then B became insolvent. So what do you mean by insolvent? That means he was broken. He doesn't have any money to pay. So he became insolvent, and up to 30 paisa in a rupee was received from his estate in full and final settlement. That means what? He was not having enough balance or enough money to pay whatever was his commitment. So he is able to close the books, and he is able to sustain it with whatever the money that he has as a full and final settlement. Then I've got sold goods to C, which is nothing but 1000. So all this are there. So now what I will do, I will write the entries in the books of Samresh in sales ledger, debtors ledger adjustment account, because here I'll have to prepare in sales ledger debtors ledger adjustment account, and then I'll have to prepare also the individual account. So that means debtors ledger adjustment account, first transaction what I will have, in I'll debit to cash which is 4851, and then discount allowed I will debit 120, returns inwards I'll debit 180, then bills receivable 1200, then bad debts 819, and then I'll take buy balance, to balance carried down, which is 3570. And then in the credit side, what all transactions I'll record, buy balance brought down 6210, and then I will also have sales ledger adjustment account, under which the sales is 3330, and then bills receivable dishonored I will have 1200. So that means I'll close my books, and then I'll record the balancing figure, buy balance brought down 3370. Then I'll record the individual transactions, A's account, B's account, C's account. So in the case of individual transactions, in the case of A's account, I will have two balance brought down 1530, whatever the balances pertains to A. Then I'll have two sales 1710, then BR dishonored 1200. Then I'll have in the credit side buy cash 1500, then discount allowed is 30, then bills receivable is 1200, and then balance carried down is 1710. Then I'll record B's account. So in the case of B's account, what I will do, two balance brought down again 1620, and then I'll have two sales account 600. Then in the credit side, I'll have buy balance brought down, which is 300, and then buy returns inwards 180, buy cash 900, and then I'll balance the figure, buy balance carried down 840, and then I'll do C's account. So in the case of C's account, what I will do, two balance brought down 1890, and then I'll record two sales, which is 1020. Then in the credit side, buy cash 1800, buy discount allowed 90, and then buy balance brought down, which is 1000. Complete. Then I'll go to D's account. In the case of D's account, what I will do, I'll have two balance brought down, which is 1170, that's pertaining to D, and then by cash 351, by bad debts 819. So the very important point which I need to consider in my workings before I start the sum is how much is my total debtors. So my total debtors, all the four A, B, C, D, everybody put together is 6210. Similarly, I will also record for total sales. So my total sales, whatever is there between 3330. Then total cash received. So everything I'll record, because one of the things is like I will have to total it, and then I will have to cumulatively do the sum. Then total discount also I will accumulate it. Returns inwards I will accumulate. Bad debts I will accumulate. BR dishonored I will accumulate. Total debtors balance as on the closing balance, that also I will do accumulation. So all these things I will do accumulations, and then I will record the sums. Then the next illustration, we have a summarized analysis of accounts of the outstanding debtors of a firm of the date of the annual closing of the amount as under. So that means I've got five scenarios. So debtors PQRST, goods sold during the year, they have given 3000, 2000, 5000, 10,000 and 12,000. Goods returned during the year they have given. Cash and check received during the year they have given. Discount allowed during the year for all the five, and then bills of exchange received during the year. Now the important thing is debtors balance at the beginning of the year is 4500. Out of the above receipts, a bill of 700 given by S was dishonored. So a particular bill has got dishonored. Now noting charges amounting to rupees 20. So prepare debtors ledger adjustment account in general ledger and general ledger adjustment account in the case of debtors ledger. So all these transactions I will have to record. So when I record all the transactions, I will ensure that whatever the transactions I have, I will first post it, because once I post the transactions, I will be able to record all the transactions in a particular way. So now what I will do the in the general ledger debtors ledger adjustment account. So that means, so first before we start the sum, we have to do the workings as usual. So my sales is equal to 3000 plus 2000 plus, so 5000 plus 10,000 plus 12,000, which is 32,000. Then I have returns inwards 500 plus 1000 plus 1500, which is nothing but 3000. Then I have got discount allowed. So discount allowed is how much? 500 plus 500 plus 1000, which is nothing but 2000. Then I have got bills receivable, which is 1000 plus 1000 is equal to 2000. Then I have cash and check received, 2000 plus 1000 plus 3000 plus 6000 plus 8000, which is 20,000. So all these transactions I'll make. Then I'll prepare my debtors ledger adjustment account and general ledger adjustment account. So in the case of debtors ledger adjustment account, what I will do, I'll have two balance brought down, which is the opening balance, which is 4500. Then I'll have general ledger adjustment account. So under that I prepare my sales, which is 32,000. BR dishonored is 700. Then I have got some charges, which is 20. Then I'll have my general ledger adjustment account, under which the cash and check received is 20,000. Returns inwards is 3,000. Discount allowed is 2,000. BR is 2,000. Buy balance carried down is 10,220. So then I'll balance my books as 37,220, and then I'll bring this balancing figure of buy balance carried down to debit side, which is two balance brought down to 10,220. So in the credit side there is no balance, so I'll just keep it like this. Then I'll prepare in the debtors ledger general ledger adjustment account. So here what I will do, as I said, all the credit transactions will come in debit, all the debit transactions will come in credit. So that means two debtors ledger. So cash and check received will come 20,000. Then returns inwards will come 3,000. Discount allowed 2,000. BR 2,000. Then buy balance brought down is 4,500. Debtors ledger adjustment account. Sales is 32. BR dishonored 700. Charges is 20. So after doing all these things, I will balance my books, and then I'll say buy balance brought down is 10,220. So this is how I'll record the transaction. Now the next aspect is, how will I do the adverse balances or contra transactions? So what do you mean by a contra transaction? So contra transactions are those transactions that will have a twofold effects. So that is what we are going to study. So sometimes it may happen that debtors ledger shows a credit balance and creditors ledger shows a debit balance. So that means that it's a reverse balance. So that means what? The adverse balance of debtors ledger and creditors ledger. So usually credit balance in debtors ledger may happen on account of advance taken from the creditors or allowances given to the customers for different products after closing the accounts. Similarly, debit balances in creditors ledger may appear on account of excess payment made or goods returned to the creditors after closing the accounts. So thus these contra transactions have to be adjusted. So it's all the more important for us to adjust these transactions. Now once I adjust these transactions, then accordingly we will prepare the entries whatever is required. So thus these contra transactions are to be adjusted. So now what are all the entries that you prepare in the purchase or creditors ledger? So that is what we are going to see. So previously we saw the entries passed in the sales ledger and debtors ledger. Now we are going to talk about purchase and creditors ledger. So in this ledger also two types of entries are to be posted. One dealing with the creditors ledger and the other dealing with the general ledger. Now at the same time, self-balancing entries should be made for adjustment accounts. So for adjustment accounts, you have to prepare the self-balancing entries. Like debtors ledger entries have to be recorded with the periodical total of purchase day book, with the periodical total of purchase day book and returns outwards book, etc. So what are all the entries that we make here for a transaction which has got credit purchases? So the usual entry is what? Purchase account debit to creditors account. In the case of self-balancing entry, what we will do? We will have in general ledger adjustment account debit to creditors ledger adjustment account. Then the second entry is what? For cash paid to creditors. Now if I am paying some cash to creditors, then what I will do? Creditors account debtor to cash account. Then in the case of self-balancing, the entry will be creditors ledger account debit to general ledger adjustment account. Then the third scenario is discount received from creditors. When there is a discount received, what I will do? Creditors account debit to discount received account. Then the same entry I'll pass in self-balancing entry also. Then the fourth scenario is for bills accepted in favor of creditors. Now if there is any bills accepted, then what I will do? Creditors account debit to bills payable account. And self-balancing, no entry will be there. Then for purchase returns, creditors account debit to returns outwards account. and in self-balancing entry the same effect will be there. Then for bills payable dishonored, then what I will do, bills payable account debit to creditors account. And in the case of self-balancing, general ledger adjustment account debit to creditors ledger adjustment account. Then the next scenario is for interest and charges charged by creditors. If there are any interest, that means whatever the charges that you have, interest or charges account debit to creditors account. So then the same scenario will have it over here in self-balancing systems. Is the thing that I have recorded over here. Now with this information, we go to the next illustration where we have been asked to prepare the creditors ledger adjustment account as it would appear in general ledger and general ledger adjustment account as it would appear in creditors ledger for the year ended 31st March 2013 for the following particulars. Now the question is, I have got opening balance of sundry creditors 10,000. I've also got debit balance 1000. Then I've got purchases including cash purchase 50,000. Returns outward is 2,000. Cash paid to creditors 20,000. Discount allowed by creditors 3,000. Trade discount 1,000. Bills receivable allowed to creditors 2,000. Then I've got bills payable during the year is 4,000. Bills payable dishonored is 2,000. Bills payable renewed is 1,200. Interest and bills payable renewed 100. I've got sundry charges paid 100. Total of set off of debtors ledger 3,000. And then sundry creditors as on 31/3/2013 is 4,000. I prepare my working schedule, I'll have to prepare the various entries. So in the general ledger, I will have creditors ledger adjustment account. So two balance brought down 1,000. And then I've got two returns outwards which is 2,000, cash and check 20,000, discount received 3,000, bills receivable 2,000, bills payable 4,000, and then bills payable renewed is 1,000. Then I've got transfer 3,000. Then coming into the credit side, I'll have buy balance brought down which is 10,000, and then purchases I'll record 40,000, bills payable dishonored I will have 2,000. Then I will have sundry charges 100. Then I will have buy balance carried down 100, and then I'll record the transactions of 4,000. So then with this I'll balance my figure 56,200. Then I'll bring that closing balance to two balance brought down 4,000, and then buy balance brought down 20,200. Then in the creditors ledger I'll prepare general ledger adjustment account. So here two balance brought down, again whatever the transactions that are there in creditors ledger credit side will come in general ledger adjustment account debit side. Whatever transactions that are there in creditors ledger adjustment account debit side will come in general ledger adjustment account credit side. So that means I'll record two balance brought down 10,000, two creditors ledger adjustment account I prepare which is nothing but 40,000, bills payable is 2,000, and then dishonored 100, sundry charges 100, balance carried down is 4,000. Then here I will have buy balance brought down 1,000, buy creditors ledger adjustment account, returns outwards account I have 2,000, cash 20,000, discount received 3,000, bills receivable 2,000, bills payable 4,000, bills payable renewed is 1,000, transfer entry I have is 3,000, balance carried down is 20,200. So with this we balance the figures. Buy balance brought down is 4,000, two balance brought down is 20,200. So that is the concept. Now the next concept what we go is transfer entries. Now sometimes we will also have transfer entries. Now what do you mean by a transfer entry? Sometimes a person may be treated both as a debtor as well as a creditor. So to the firm. That means what? In other words, the firm purchases goods from him and also it sells the goods to him. So it's a transfer. So under the circumstances, the lower of the amount payable and receivable is to be set off. Whatever is the lower amount has to be set off. So this is called, that set off amount is to be deducted from both the debtors as well as creditors. So that is called as a transfer entry. So whatever you are setting it off, that should be deducted from the debtors as well as creditors. So that is called as a transfer entry. Now what is a transfer entry? Usually we make, the usual entry is in case of a, so which means A in creditors ledger account. So to A in debtors ledger account. That means what? I'll transfer from creditors to debtors. For some particular transaction, it is 8,000. Now, under the self-balancing entry, what will be the entry? I'll have creditors ledger adjustment account to general ledger adjustment account 8,000, and then I will have general ledger adjustment account to debtors ledger adjustment account 8,000. Or a direct entry can be creditors ledger adjustment account debit 8,000 to debtors ledger adjustment account 8,000. So that means this transfer entry will impact both my creditors ledger as well as debtors ledger. That is the concept of this transfer entry, because this transfer entry is going to tell me what are all the books that has been impacted, which are all the parties account that has been impacted, and how I will have to bring that impact in the books. And also, it is not always necessary that I will have to have the transfer from creditors to debtors. It can be vice versa also. It can be transfer can also happen from debtors to creditors. So depending upon the requirement and depending upon the nature of transactions, we will record and post those entries. Then let's go to the one particular scenario. Illustration 5. X Limited furnished the following particulars. Debtors ledger include 5,000 due from Sen and Company, whereas creditors ledger include 3,000 due to Sen and Company. That means debtors ledger also there is a amount, creditors ledger also there is an amount. So if I have to prepare a journal, what I will do? Creditors ledger adjustment account to general ledger adjustment account, which is 3,000. General ledger adjustment account to debtors ledger adjustment account 3,000. The direct entry will be here, creditors ledger adjustment account 3,000 to debtors ledger adjustment account 3,000. Now let's go to the next sum. Here what are we going to do? Here we are going to prepare the one complete sum under which we are going to prepare all the necessary accounts. So from the following particulars which have been extracted from the books of G and Company for the year ended 31st December 2013, prepare general ledger adjustment account in the creditors ledger and debtors ledger adjustment account in the general ledger. So that means I am going to prepare the general ledger adjustment account in the creditors ledger and debtors ledger adjustment account in the general ledger. So I am going to prepare both the entries. So debtors ledger balance, opening balance I have 20, credit balance I have 300, creditors ledger opening balance I have got 200, closing balance I have got 15,000. Then purchases during the year including cash is 12,000. Then sales including cash is 25,000. Cash paid in full settlement of the claims, that means 8,500. Cash received from customers in full settlement, which is 14,100. Then I've got bills payable accepted 2,000. Bills payable withdrawn 500. Interest on bills payable renewed 20. Bills receivable received, that means 3,000. Then bills receivable endorsed is 800. Then bills receivable and endorsed dishonored is 300. Bills receivable discounted is 1,400. Then bills receivable dishonored is 400. Interest charged on dishonored bills is 30. Transfer from one ledger to another ledger is 600. Returns credit balance, which is 700. Debtors ledger closing balance is 450. Creditors ledger closing balance is 10,870. This is a very, very important sum because you have all the transactions to be recorded in creditors ledger, general ledger adjustment account, and as well as in debtors ledger adjustment account in general ledger. So that means I have all the books to be made. So I will have to prepare first in the creditors ledger, general ledger adjustment account. That means I will take into account all the transactions of purchases. So two balance brought down 15,000, two purchases 8,000, bills payable withdrawn 500, bills receivable dishonored 800, interest charges 20, and then two balance carried down is 350. Then I have got buy balance brought down 200. Then I have got cash 8,500, discount received is 500, returns outwards is 700, bills payable 2,000, bills receivable endorsed is 800, transfer is 600, and then I'll have balance carried down is 10,870. Then I'll record my two balance brought down 10,870, buy balance brought down 350. Now in the case of debtors ledger adjustment account, what I will do, I'll have to record the sales transactions. So two balance brought down 20,000. In the case of two sales, 19,000. BR endorsed and dishonored 300. Bills dishonored, which is 400. Interest charges 30. Then two balance carried down as 450. Then I'll have buy balance brought down 300. Buy general ledger, that means I'll have cash 14,100. Discount allowed is what? 15,000 minus 14,100. This is very important. 900. And then I'll prepare the transfer entry, which is 3,000. And then balance carried on as 21,280. So with this I'll close my books. Two balance brought down as 21,280. So buy balance brought down as 450. So then the next one is a very composite sum, where we are going to prepare debtors ledger adjustment account in the general ledger. So that means the sum is the following information is available from the books of the trader for the period 1st Jan to 31st March 2013. I've got total sales amounted to 70,000, including the sale of old furniture for 10,000. Book value is 12,300. So here I've got complete information. I've got sales amounting to 70,000, including the sale of old furniture. That's for 10,000. Book value is 12,300. The total cash sales were 80% less than the credit sales. Then I've got cash collections from debtors amounting to 60% of the aggregate of the opening debtors, and credit sales for the period, discount allowed to them amounts to 2,600. Now bills receivable drawn during the period total 7,000, for which bills amounting to 3,000 were endorsed in favor of suppliers. Now out of these endorsed bills, a bills receivable for rupees 1,600 was dishonored for non-payment. Then I've got check received from customer, 5,000 was dishonored. A sum of rupees 500 is irrecoverable. Then bad debts written off in the earlier year realized 2,500. Then sundry debtors as on 1st January stood at 40,000. We have to prepare the debtors ledger adjustment account in the general ledger. So debtors ledger adjustment account, what I will have to prepare the complete information. Now before I go to that, I'll have to prepare my working notes. So first I'll have to compute my credit sales, because the total sales is given including cash sales. So what is the cash sales here? Cash sales are 80% less than the credit sales. So if the credit sales is 100, cash sale is 20. So my total sales will be how much? 120. So total sales is equal to 70,000 minus 10,000, which is nothing but 60,000. So, and amount of credit sales will be how much? 60,000 into 100 by 120, which is 50,000. Because they have given very clearly, cash sales is 80% less than the credit sales. So accordingly, I'll have to compute my total sales first, and then I'll have to arrive at what is my credit sales. Then I've got cash received. What they have given, cash received is 60% of the opening debtors plus credit sales. That means 40,000 plus 50,000, 90,000, and in that cash received is how much? 60%. So 90,000 into 60 by 100, which is 54,000. Now with this information, we are going to prepare debtors ledger adjustment account. So here I've got two balance brought down 40,000. Then I have anyways calculated the sales, which is 50,000. Two bills receivable 1,600 dishonored, and then to check dishonored 5,000. Now I've got my general ledger adjustment account in the form of cash, which is 54,000, which I have already calculated from cash received. Then I've got discount allowed, which is 2,600. Then I've got bills receivable, which is 7,000. Then I've got bad debts, which is 2,100, and then I've got balance carried down 30,900. Now what I will do, I'll close my balance. So two balance brought down as 30,900. So the very important information is how I'm going to calculate my credit sales, because in the case of debtors ledger, as we have already discussed, no cash transactions or no cash sales will be recorded, only the credit sales will be recorded. So that being the case, how am I going to calculate the credit sales? So that is the reason why we have to prepare working notes, and then we have to accordingly proceed with the sum. So these are all some of the aspects that we take into account when we prepare the various adjustment accounts pertaining to debtors ledger and creditors ledger. Obviously, the important synopsis that we are getting it from this chapter is whatever the accounts that you are preparing, in the case of debtors ledger, whatever the debit you are recording in the general ledger, you will have to record that as a credit, and whatever credit you are recording, you have to record that as a debit. And please note, here only the credit purchases and credit sales transactions alone should be captured. So that means whatever the cash portions, accordingly we will have to do in the form of workings, and then arrive at that cash portion, deduct that cash portion from the total purchases or total sales, and then arrive at the credit purchases or credit sales. So then only we will be able to do this sum in a correct manner. And from the examination point of view, first start with the workings and then proceed on with the debtors ledger or creditors ledger, depending upon whatever the sums that they have given, because the working notes will very clearly tell you what is the expected out of the various accounts. So from that accounts you will have to prepare the various ledger accounts. Now all these things are done in order to ensure that my TB at the end of the period is correct, because once you have your debtors ledger and creditors ledger prepared, accordingly those informations goes into the balance sheet and those informations are recorded after that. So that means it is all the more important for us to ensure that the informations are properly captured and properly recorded. So please ensure all these are taken care of when you are doing this particular chapter. So with this I conclude the chapter. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope I would have cleared all your doubts. So please feel free to reach out to me in case if you have any further questions. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and all the best for your exam. Bye.